welcome to another podcast episode. I want to talk about empathy and me. If there's one thing you should know is that I'm an empath, and according to Google, an empath is someone who is highly attuned to the emotions of others, often experiencing those emotions deeply and sometimes feeling them as their own. I have read somewhere that empaths are supernatural and you can have all kinds of different gifts. There are 10 known different types of empaths. They are the following: a claircognizant empath, a, a psychometric empath, animal empath, geomantric empath, precognitive empath, emotional empath, telepathic empath, plant empath, medium empath, and physically receptive empath. For me, I believe I have more than one label. I am a part of the emotional empath and medium empath. I'm also a psychic empath, which is not on the list. For my emotional empathy, I will cry for you. It's my way of saying, hey, this person isn't happy. If I feel the person's despair, magical things can happen. There was a time where I stopped a few things. I stopped a hurricane and I was able to stop a meteor from hitting Earth. But this is power that comes with great responsibility, and I can't fix every single problem that's out there in the world. I have to feel the despair in order for it to work. That's my emotional empathy. Now for my medium. I believe in ghosts, and trust me, nobody wants one. But I believe I've helped some spirits move on because strange phenomena happened and we can hardly explain them. The internet suggests that they are hallucinations, which could be a possibility. I've seen a ghost with my own eyes, and this was at Barry Pomeroy Castle. The backstory is one of the sisters that lived there was starved to death because of a little bit of jealousy from her boyfriend. They were cruel in those days, and I am so glad that things are now changed, or so I hope. I was alone in the tower of the castle to where she was starved, and I saw her shadow. Now, wherever you think you've seen a ghost, it's best to look at the scientific sides of things. Was it perhaps someone else's shadow? No. I was alone and I had my support at the time. I wandered off to, who had wandered off to another room. So they were far away from me, and I was not in the same room. And then at my mother's old house, the house was haunted. A hand grabbed my foot, and that's when I realized that something is up. But this is why I always have a light on, to make it sensitive for ghosts on purpose. My rabbit will stomp his feet if he sees things or hear things, as that has happened when I watched Sam and Colby's videos of ghosts. They do a lot of ghost hunting. And for the last but not least, there is my psychic empathy, which isn't on the list. A part of my psychic empathy is that I can see orbs. I've met a person who sees them too, so maybe they are an empath as well. There are many different kinds of orbs that have different meanings. The main colors you should know are green, which means a healing spirit, blue, which means your spiritual guide, white, which means you have a ghost with you, who is usually a spirit of some kind. And I first found out about my empathy in 2022. This was when things just seemed up. I did my research and it came up with empath. So yes, that's what I am. But what about you? Do you think you are one? Because if you are, you have to do your research into knowing what empath you are. Then that way you could start practicing your many gifts.